What is going on, guys? You're listening to the Realest Podcast. I am Blake Carter, joined by Kyle Lepore, and we have a special guest today. Andrew is here with us tonight.
How y'all doing?
So, Monday Night Raw on May 23rd, 2016, my birthday. They did not give me a birthday to remember.
Unfortunately, but hey, I mean, at least New Day remembered that they got you a cake, though.
Yeah, I didn't even get to have it.
Yeah,
what
dude. Well, I mean, Heath Slater kind of ate it, so you can't. It's kind of unfortunate.
He ate it like 4 times. So, before we start, Andrew, what were your thoughts on Raw?
I actually thought it was really good. I thought it was very well done. I especially loved the Kevin Owens and AJ Styles match. I'm definitely going to have a lot to say about that match when we get to it.
All right, Kyle, what'd you think?
Yeah, I agree with Andrew. I thought it was, I don't know about a really good show. I thought it was a pretty good show. I mean, the matches were definitely really good. I was a little disappointed to see, like, some people didn't get in it. Like, I wanted to see, for example, Apollo Crews getting Money in the Bank instead of Jericho. I mean, spoiler alert, whoopsie. I wanted to see AJ and Owens be in it, but we can't see that, so that's kind of disappointing. But yeah, I thought it was a really good show. I mean, well, pretty good show.
Yeah, well, I mean, from the get-go, it was amazing. I love the Seth Rollins coming out. And, I mean, as soon as he came out, I got chills. I think it's just so good to see him back. So good. And, man, the heel promo he put on
Oh, yeah.
was golden.
Absolutely fantastic.
I still can't get over how good that promo was. I hated it, though, but I knew. Like, everyone was saying... I want to say, Andrew, you asked me if he would come back as a, heel or a face. I mean, there's no way they're going to have your top baby face go up against another face. So, I mean, we got this, Seth Rollins heel back, and sure, by the looks of it, we could see a possible Triple H versus Seth Rollins already.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how good do you think Money in the Bank will be? Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns?
Yeah, it's going to be a great match. It's really going to be 100% 5-star match. It is. Because Rollins has come back better than ever. And Reigns, I mean, him and Reigns already have really good chemistry from the Shield. How long? Even before, like, WWE, they used to do, like, CZW, even all, like, the other stuff. They've been doing, like, little promotions for a while, so they're going to have amazing chemistry. It's going to be a great match. I can't wait.
Yeah, so go ahead.
The question is, will it be a clean match?
If Rollins wins, I could see it not being clean to continue the feud. I don't see they're not going to do that to Roman Reigns first off, because Roman Reigns is Superman.
Absolutely.
That's true.
So if it's not going to be clean, it's going to be Seth Rollins. Something happening with Seth Rollins, but I mean, by the looks of it, the Authority isn't really around right now.
Yeah, not at all.
And you kind of seen that with the interaction between Seth Rollins and Stephanie McMahon tonight.
Yeah, that whole it seemed like it was like I've been cheating on on Triple H behind his back, but things are different. Okay, shake my hand. That's what it seemed like. Did it not?
Yeah,
like,
a little bit of an awkwardness there.
It was like, have these two been sleeping together or something?
Something's going on there.
I mean. I heard someone, I saw a podcast and the guy said that there's awkward sexual tension between Shane McMahon and Stephanie. I was like, I don't see it, but tonight I saw it between Seth and Stephanie. I was like, what's going on here? Like, are they cheating on each other? Like, it's a little
I think that, like, artistically speaking, it was kind of well done, because you look at this thing where when Seth Rollins left, he was on top of the world. He still had the Authority backing him up. Sure, they knocked down Kane out of the Authority, but the Authority was still very much in place. And now Seth Rollins is coming back into a hostile environment. He automatically feels like he's getting appreciated with Shane McMahon, giving him this rematch for the title he never even lost. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, he comes back and expects a hero's welcome from Stephanie McMahon, and she pulls away from him.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think WrestleMania we'll see Seth Rollins versus Triple H. I don't know if you want my main event. Don't ask, because I already have a feeling of what it will be. But
oh, really? Okay.
I'm predicting it now. You can see the future. John Cena versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 33.
That's a strong possibility, unfortunately. Unfortunately, oh man.
So I know this is kind of really skipping ahead, and if I could find it, let's. We're not talking about those yet. Would you? I mean, let's just get into it.
Okay.
Charlotte and Ric Flair.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. I was like, can we skip ahead? This is not meant for television, man. That was.
Here's the thing. I text you and I said something to you, and I got on Twitter and I saw an account that it's like basically a news source account, and they said the same thing I said, and that being, it seems like Charlotte is getting something that she doesn't like. She wants something, but she's not getting what she wants. And you're like at the mall and you're walking by and you're overhearing this. It's like, oh god, that's sucks to suck, but that's sad.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, what were your thoughts on this whole speech and this cringing, breakup?
See, and I think you said this before. It seemed as if she was going to betray him. You could see it from the beginning, like the sound of her voice, the way she was looking at him. You knew it was coming. Did we expect it to be that bad? I mean, when you talk about a good promo takes your experience from life and puts it into the promo itself. And you saw every bit of emotion that Charlotte must have had when she was growing up. Like she said before, the absences of Ric Flair when he was on tour and how he was winning championships and how she understands that perspective. But now that ego is taking on a new persona, and that is just spiraling out of control.
That did hit me. That part hit me of the whole, you were never here for me. It was kind of like, oh god, like she's going deep. But obviously this is scripted.
Absolutely.
But was it just me, or did Ric Flair look hammered?
Oh, he always looks hammered, but
always, dude. Always.
So
I mean, he's the partier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Limo riding.
I really hate seeing Dana Brooke though there. Oh my god.
That's my girl. Don't say that about her.
No, I don't care if that's your girl. Dude, she went from NXT being Emma's bitch and now she's Charlotte's bitch. Like I fucking hate it. Why?
It's just with Emma on injury reserve, it's kind of like, what's your place, Dana? Oh, we'll just cling to Charlotte.
Dana Brooke, if you're listening, which you're probably not, but if you're listening to this podcast, you could be my bitch, okay? I will let you be my bitch. There. That'll make them happy. It'll make me very happy. So, I like seeing it, but I'm very glad that the Charlotte character no longer has Ric Flair in her corner, but instead we get Dana Brooke in her corner. So it's like, yes, no, wait, time out, no, go back. But I saw an article not long ago. It was basically Rick saying that he wasn't going to be there much longer. So,
right.
I guess this was really it. So, but now the main question is who's going to feud with Charlotte. We have 3 weeks now until Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
I would like to see Becky Lynch.
Again,
yes. I really respect Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch should be in there. Another prediction, I think it's time to bring up Bayley. I know it's not going to happen, but a nice Bayley versus Charlotte would be an excellent match to see. They had some excellent matches at NXT together. They would put on a really good show.
Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. Bayley versus Sasha Banks needs to be Bayley's first feud.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But you know that Sasha Banks is going to be feuding against Charlotte very soon. It has to happen.
Yeah.
Charlotte's been ducking
Kyle.
Sasha for months.
Yeah.
What have I said just about every single show?
God.
What have I said?
Oh man, SummerSlam. That's all you said. SummerSlam.
What's gonna happen at SummerSlam?
It's gonna be what Sasha's gonna commit. Wait, which one was it? Was it who is gonna be the one to saying, "Oh, I've beaten everybody," and then Bayley comes out, right? It was gonna be Charlotte.
No.
Well, it was that one. There was.
I said that after WrestleMania, but then that totally took a U-turn because it was like they said, let's listen to at the time Wrestling Rocks and let's hear what Chris has to say. Okay, we're gonna do what Chris said because it makes sense.
Okay.
To this day, the only pay-per-view I have gotten I haven't gotten more than 50% of the matches right.
Mm-hmm.
What I think will happen is we'll see like a kind of a redo of the Royal Rumble. I think we'll see Charlotte over someone winning, and then Sasha Banks will walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to Sasha, I do think that we are going to see Sasha say, I've beaten Charlotte once or twice now. Nobody can beat me. I've beaten the best. And then, boom. You know, Bayley's da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na. Everybody's like, yeah!
Yeah, you've been
But-
saying that forever.
It's going to happen. That's how it's going to
Oh,
happen.
I'm sure. I'm sure, man.
I'm a part of creative, okay?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
So, look, I will tell you this about Bayley being called up. As of right now, it looks very possible because she just put over Nia Jax. So, at TakeOver, spoiler alert, if anyone watches NXT, I'm about to give everyone a spoiler because it hasn't been announced. Asuka will face Nia Jax at TakeOver. So,
Wow.
what could happen is you could have Nia Jax take the belt from Asuka, and then at TakeOver Brooklyn, if that happens, Bayley would go against Nia Jax, and then Bayley would lose again, putting Nia Jax over even more. Which, if I'm not mistaken, Kyle loves Nia Jax.
When have I said that?
You say it all the time whenever we talk about Nia Jax.
Oh, yeah, really?
Nia
Okay.
Jax is bae.
Dude, she's a big bitch. She's a
Look,
big
Nia
bitch.
Jax has a lot of talent. People don't give her enough credit. She's big, she's strong, and she can easily wipe out the Divas division if
Oh, yeah.
she wanted to.
Oh, for sure.
She could, but the problem is like none of the girls can really wrestle with her. In all honesty, none of the girls can wrestle with her because of how big and tall she is.
Well, yeah, that's a problem. That's why, like, when you saw the main event with Bayley and Nia Jax, it was, like, really Bayley getting her ass kicked, and then just the only thing she could do, because she couldn't do her Bayley to belly move, she just had to, like, just sit there and keep trying to choke her out. That kind
Like,
of thing.
who's
That's all you
gonna-
can really do.
Who's gonna body slam her?
No one can. It's like an Andre the Giant situation. Like,
Hulk
nobody, or
Hogan
Big Show
did?
situation. You can't do anything. Okay, yeah, but there's no Hulk Hogan of the women's division.
There
Unless
is.
Dana Brooke hits it. Those would bring
Dana
back
Brooke,
China from
yeah.
the
I
dead.
was
Dana
gonna say Dana
Brooke,
Brooke.
that's what I'm talking
Oh, we
about.
bring back China from the dead. We'll be good.
She is.
R.I.P.
She's strong, man. If Dana Brooke went up against Nia Jax, I could see it happen.
The only thing I don't like about Dana Brooke is the way she talks, but I agree with you. Dana, if anyone could do it, I could see Dana Brooke doing it, but she'd break her back in the process. Because I think Dana Brooke's 5'5", 5'4". She doesn't look that big.
Yeah, but she does compete in those Arnold Classics. I mean, who knows what kind of limit she can push her body to?
Yeah, but how tall is Nia Jax? She looks 6'2", if you want my opinion.
Yeah, she's up there, 6 foot, has to be.
It's time to have the handy dandy Google. Let's see, Nia Jax. Nia Jax. I hate her theme, by the way. We always talk about themes. She's 6
I'm not
foot
like
tall.
those girls. Wait, how big is she?
6 foot tall.
Jesus Christ,
Dana-
how much does she weigh?
Dana Brooke is 5'3".
Oh, Jesus. Dude,
She
how
weighs
much is
200
Nia?
272 pounds.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's no woman there that is going to lift her at all. No one.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that. Oh my god.
She's a big bitch.
I didn't realize that's how big she was.
She's a big bitch, dude. Oh my
Why
god.
does she have to be a bitch?
Okay, I'm sorry. She's a big lady there.
God. So
I mean, big bitch just sounds better. Just double B.
I disagree. That's kind of out of hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. She's a big girl. She's a very big girl.
Well, so I was saying this before we went live. We're talking now. Let's talk Cesaro
Mm-hmm.
and the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, let's do that.
I was saying this before we went live. It's like the WWE picks and chooses when to follow their quote-unquote rules.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen multiple times someone pin a champion. Paige, 2 weeks ago, pinned Charlotte. So tonight, Cesaro pins Miz. So guess what? SmackDown, Miz has to defend his title. Where's the logic in that? Why didn't Charlotte have to defend her title against Paige?
I mean, we could still see that.
Also, at Fastlane, Brie Bella rolled up Charlotte. Brie Bella got her title opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
They pick and choose. Why? One of you, tell me why.
There's really no reasoning. It just matters on, I guess, the situation at the time and like when they feel like doing it. If they have nothing else going on, kind of thing, they just feel like okay, well, we're gonna bring this back up. And rematch clauses also are not a thing at all, too.
I mean, yeah, look at Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has been asking for his rematch for how long now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose never got his.
Bailey, by the looks of it, Bailey's not going to get hers.
Yeah, she got screwed out of hers pretty much.
No, she got her ass kicked out of hers. Like,
well, yeah, but still.
Let's just be
make it a triple
honest.
threat.
She got her ass beat out of hers.
So make it a triple threat.
Make it a triple threat?
Yeah.
Let's have a 6-foot-tall girl versus a crazy Japanese wrestler and Bailey.
It's amazing. Yeah.
She is
10 out of 10 main event.
This is this is what we do. We always get off topic here. This is always something I've actually thought about. You know how Bailey is a hugger?
Right.
That would be one question I would have to ask her. How often do you get asked to be hugged? Like, obviously.
By fans?
Yeah.
Oh, every time, dude. Every time she does it.
I would be that fan is like, I don't want to give you a hug because it's just everyone does. It's nothing special.
Of course. She loves hugs.
I'll shake your hand. How about that?
No, she won't do that. She'll want a hug.
Okay, but let's get back on topic. Andrew, why doesn't WWE follow the rules?
I feel like it has to do with a few things. First of all, the idea of what's going on with the person who is entitled to the match. Let's look at Paige. Paige, from what I understand, has been in and out of trouble with the WWE. Doing some things that the WWE frowns upon. So maybe that has an impact on why she hasn't gotten her rematch. Or it could just be, well, you think that somebody was pushed a certain way, and next thing you know, they aren't getting pushed the way that Vince McMahon wants. I mean, look at the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains look like they were getting a tremendous push, and what happened at Extreme Rules? And where are the Vaudevillains right now? They had no presence on the show whatsoever.
Maybe we'll see them on SmackDown. I don't know, but yeah, I even said about
SmackDown's we're going to go to die.
That's
unfortunately. I mean, SmackDown is not the premier show that WWE wants it to be, and they need to turn that into the show that everybody needs to be at.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, speaking of the tag team division, the New Day obviously last night defended their tag team titles.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. Because we see... I mean, and one thing... I mean, we'll talk about this after, which I'll just mention it now. Enzo and Cass and the Dudley Boys, they're doing their thing. We'll touch on him coming back, yes. But yeah, them come back, they're going to have their feud there. I can't really think of many teams that really could go up against a New Day right now. I don't know. I mean, and I don't know a team you could bring up from NXT either. There's nobody that's really at that point where they're ready to be moved up. So I don't know who could be up next. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, here's an idea. Why not everybody challenged in a New Day?
Well, you kind of already done that with the tournament.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could always mix it up. How many times have you seen an Iron Man match, something like that? You know, coming in, you have several teams come in. One team gets pinned, one gets knocked out, another team comes out.
So you're basically saying an elimination tag team match.
In essence, yes, but kind of like a gauntlet match. There it is.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking for. Like a gauntlet. If they can't decide on one team, why can't all of them challenge? That would provide for a very exciting show. Not only do we get to see multiple tag teams, but they also can have a tag team that necessarily doesn't have the spotlight. You could actually throw in somebody like you had
the Ascension.
The Ascension, yes, absolutely.
I would love to see them.
The Ascension, I mean, they're done, unfortunately. But Ascension was one of the most popular tag teams in NXT. They could have been a surprise win. Absolutely. And anything can happen in a gauntlet match. The tag team champions could get knocked out right away.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking,
and anything could happen.
So speaking of something like that, who would you put in that match then with the number of tag teams there is?
Okay, so you got the Dudley Boys. You got the Ascension.
The Ascension can't do it because Victor's suspended.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, he's still suspended? Well, shit.
Okay, so you don't have the Ascension, but you could have Enzo and Cash. You have the Dudley Boys. You have the Vaudevillains, who are
Lucha
eager
Dragons,
to get back into there.
You could bring them back since Kalisto lost the title.
Lucha
Lucha
Dragons
got his
could come
ass
back.
whooped.
Well, yeah, but I mean, some Dragon can come back now and do their thing.
So that's 4 tag
They could
teams
also
right now.
bring up another popular tag team, and I know, Blake, you were very vocal about a certain tag team that should come up.
The Revival?
The Revival,
No,
absolutely.
they can't. They can't right now. Not yet. Not yet.
I mean, it could be a surprise left wing thing. Throw the kids out there, see what they could do. Doesn't necessarily need to be a debut, but just a little idea of what NXT still has to offer.
I honestly and truthfully, tag team wise, the tag team division, other than the American Alpha and the Revival, there's nothing there anymore. As of right now, if you were to ask me what out of the 3 divisions, what division is like the marquee best division, it's the men's division. I think with American Alpha and the Revival are making that division amazing. But I think once one of those teams leave, which if you were to ask me which team would leave first, it would be the Revival. That division's done. I also think the women's division is really good, but we've kind of already seen the best 2 women in that division right now already wrestle, Asuka and Bayley. We need to see it a second time, but by the looks of it, we're not going to see that at all, depending on who wins a takeover. So the men's division is just packed.
Mm.
So I don't know when you would call up the Revival, though. I don't know. You'd have to call them up at the right time. Because Enzo and Cash just got there. The Vaudevillains just got beat, but they could still make a run because they could pull the, wait, you had a third, Kofi Kingston hit me with Trouble in Paradise. This isn't fair, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, the club. Actually, wait. I just remembered that.
Then you have
I didn't think
then you
that.
can play the club.
You have the
because
club?
of Top Hill. Well, they're probably not the club anymore. They're probably just Anderson and Gallows.
And the Usos. You could throw them there. So you do have a good amount of teams, but like it's the situation they're in.
Please.
I don't want it, but I'm just mentioning teams at this point. I think Gallows and Anderson against the New Day would be a great feud. I mean, I do want to see, though, I want to see a 3-man faction go up against the New Day, because we have the same situation we've seen for so long, where it's like, you have 2 of the New Day guys going in a match, then you have the third guy who ends up interfering and helps them get the win. So it's like, there needs to be some kind of 3-man faction to go up against them.
Everyone.
Social outcasts.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because
God.
that went.
Although, by the way, guys, be sure to tune in
man.
to Keeping It Real. Blake and Kyle on Saturday. We'll be discussing Adam Rose being released from the WWE today. So be sure to tune in Saturday. So hit that subscribe button, like now.
So going back to Cesaro, because we sort of went off the beaten trail again.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a match he put on today against The Miz.
Cesaro-
He pinned The Miz. He, like you said, is entitled a Intercontinental Championship match, which he's probably not going to get at this point.
He's gonna lose it, 100%.
Unfortunately. Remember, he's something here or something.
Day in and day out, Cesaro is the man to beat when it comes to putting on a performance.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to get the crowd on his side. He seems to have so much energy, and he always puts on a great show.
I said it last night. Cesaro, last night you had 3 Ring of Honor stars make a WWE superstar look good, and that WWE superstar being The Miz. Cesaro was in every single minute of that match. Everything that happened, he was in the middle of, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I said it back when there was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship tournament. That he deserves the push. I was saying it every single week. He deserves it. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and the article came out that Vince was very, very impressed with Cesaro. He's getting a push. Now, we've talked before, and you said you don't agree with that. But tell me when you saw Cesaro in a title picture after the whole United States title run he had with Santino Marella.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man.
You could say he had the tag team run, but what happened to Tyson Kidd? You never heard from him again?
Injury, yeah.
Yeah, he got injured. I don't even know if he's coming back or not. He's been injured for a while.
He had a serious neck injury. If they're smart, honestly, if I'm Tyson Kidd, I wouldn't come back. Cause
He wants to, though.
He wants to. The guy's good, but he can't stay healthy. It's kind of a Daniel Bryan situation.
Yeah. And the craziest thing with Cesaro, though, is that like I said, even last night, he's one of the best athletes he's one of the best athletes in this company. He really is. And the fact that he hasn't gotten an individual title yet is absolutely insane, because he's been WWE for a while, and he has yet to hold an individual title. That's absolutely insane to me.
That's
You
false.
really
He
think-
held the United States title.
No, he didn't. Did he really?
Yes.
When? I don't remember him holding it. I swear I remember him holding
He
it.
feuded with Santino Marella when Santino Marella had his reign of the United States title.
Oh, I didn't know that Cesaro actually got the title from him though.
Yeah, because Santino could not get it from him. Get it back.
Okay.
That
My
was
apologies. He hasn't had it in a long time.
That was when Cesaro had his I can speak so many languages run.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that now. Okay, yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay, but then since then though, he still hasn't had like a single title. Like since then, he should be holding either the IC or US title right now. He really should be. He'd be an amazing champion.
If he
Especially
wasn't
better-
if he wasn't injured, if he wouldn't have gotten injured, I agree with you. But I think as of right now, what they're doing with him is good. I think right now having him feud with The Miz, having him, basically prove himself with his injuries, saying that I'm good. Don't put a belt around him right away. That'd be dumb.
Yeah, I
They
understand.
did that with Daniel Bryan. They put a belt put it around him right away, and what he do? He got injured again.
Yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
So let him prove that he can stay healthy, then put a belt around his waist.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
I kind of think the same thing with Seth Rollins. Wait a little while. Let him prove himself that he can stay healthy. He still hasn't wrestled since coming back. He didn't wrestle tonight. So
Yeah, I want to see him in the ring. I really want to see him in the ring and see how he does.
same. And by the way, we didn't see Roman Reigns wrestle today. Round of
No,
applause.
we did not.
I know, right? Like that. Wow, surprising.
We didn't see Superman.
No, we did not.
And
We didn't see a lot of people actually too. We didn't see Kalisto or Rusev either. At all.
yeah, Rusev didn't even win last night, I guess. He wasn't even
Apparently.
mentioned on tonight's show. So,
No.
well, we've already talked about the tag team division. Let's talk about another qualifying match, and that being Y2J Chris Jericho beating Apollo Crews, who was, before this, undefeated.
I was blown away that they would do that.
But before we hit Apollo Crews, that match, what did you guys think about the whole Sheamus beating down Apollo Crews?
That was stupid.
You think it was stupid, Andrew?
I think it was stupid. Oh,
Oh,
I think Andrew dropped.
he did drop. If you want my opinion...
Oh, he's back. Wait, I say
No, he's not. He's calling. There's Andrew. Andrew, did you hear what I
He's
said?
losing me here. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Sheamus here is I don't think he's the guy for the job.
Right.
Sheamus losing and attacking Apollo Crews, they're trying to do a potential feud there, but
Yeah, pre-show match.
there's so many other people that could be feuding with Apollo Crews right now.
All right. So, if you want my opinion, I think it was good on Sheamus because it kind of got a lot of negativity off. It made him look good, made him look strong.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like Chris Jericho winning. I think that's dumb. Mm-hmm. We talk about the quote unquote new era, and we're putting Chris Jericho in that match.
He was a part-time performer.
Yeah,
He just does this on his side
And
time.
I
He's been known
swear-
to come back so many times.
I swear, if we see Chris Jericho win the Money in the Bank, which he's
Don't
not,
even say it. No, don't even say that.
I will officially quit this show.
No, there's no way.
Think about it. Chris Jericho has not won a Money in the Bank ladder match in his career, and he's been in so many of them.
He doesn't need to win them.
He was actually in the first one. The very
The
first.
very first one. He was the inventor of the Money in the Bank ladder match.
No, he doesn't need to win it.
He shouldn't. I mean, we're looking at the guys right now. We have, 5 guys entered already, right? We have 5?
We have Sami Zayn in it.
That's 1.
Kevin
Cesaro,
Owens.
Kevin
Two.
Owens.
Cesaro,
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, and Ambrose. So
And
you have
Ambrose.
5.
So,
So
speaking of Ambrose, I have something I'm wanting to say.
Let's do that.
Andrew here is a very big Dolph Ziggler supporter.
Okay.
Dolph Ziggler lost last night. Why did Dolph Ziggler get a qualifying match when Baron Corbin beat him?
That's a very good question. I felt as if they didn't want to stop Baron Corbin's momentum by putting him in a match with Dean Ambrose. I feel like it would have been career suicide for Baron Corbin to go up against Dean Ambrose, unless they wanted to run some angle where they were screwing Ambrose out of the Money to Bank qualifier, which in my opinion would be stupid with the push that he's getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want my opinion, I'm making the prediction now. I want to. My two picks. My big pick, I think Kevin Owens will win the Money in the Bank. My number 2 pick is Dean Ambrose.
Well, we still have 2 other guys we could also see in the match. We don't know who yet. Do you have any idea? You guys? Well, I wish he could be in it. Oh my god!
No, he doesn't need to be in it.
I know he doesn't need to, and he's going to end up having a feud with the club, which we'll touch on that also. That we're going to touch on that promo because we need to talk about that promo. But yeah, with the Money in the Bank, I'm trying to think like, who do you think else could be in this match? I would love to see Neville. I would love to see Neville in this match, but I mean, he's
unfortunately with him still on injury relief.
But yeah, so who do you guys think that else could be in this match? Like, what are the 2 superstars? I don't know.
2?
Yeah, we have 2 more spots. I don't know who else could be in it. It's kind of a toss-up. They could really just put like a high flyer in there.
Corbin.
Aaron Corbin.
Really?
He could definitely be in that match, but like I said before, I feel like that would be more of a decline for his career because right now they're running this big, strong dude persona, putting him in a Money Bank ladder match and having him lose, even if he dominates the competition. I feel like that would hurt him at this point in time.
This one's hard. It's very hard, very difficult. If someone debuts or returns, I don't know. Who else on that roster could you put there?
I mean, think about who came up from NXT. Is there anybody there? Can we put in there?
The only two people that have come up is Cruz and Corbin.
I'm trying to think.
I'm looking at the roster right now.
Yeah, I really want to figure this out. Who else could they really like put in the match now? Because I mean, there's really like the 5 entered already. It's really like an all-star lineup. They really have great guys in this match already.
If they really wanted to, they could put Brock Lesnar there.
That would never happen in a million years.
It wouldn't happen, but they could put Brock Lesnar there. For some reason, The Rock is a part of the roster. Okay.
Of course.
This is like
it's quite possible that any one of the people who lost tonight could somehow weasel their way into another qualifying match.
That's possible. Maybe someone from the New Day?
Nobody lost dirty. Everyone lost clean. The only person I could really look at and say anything to would be John Cena, Kalisto.
Maybe Kofi goes in there. Maybe like some from the New Day
here's a curveball. You could even throw in Rusev because I'm sorry, Cena's gonna beat him.
Yeah, maybe there's a decent amount of possibilities. I don't know who they would. I mean, we're probably gonna see the matchup on SmackDown, right? I would assume.
WWE, if you're listening to this, you need to update your roster now.
Why? What's on it?
Ryback is still on here. Rosa Mendez is a part of the roster. Who else is on here that I saw? I was like, really? They're still on there? Who? Connors? Yeah, he's still there. Kane's not there anymore. I saw like 2 or 3, and Goldust isn't there. I don't care what they say. He's not there. Stardust isn't there. Oh, they actually got rid of Stardust. Wow. Okay. Oh! Zack Ryder or Tyler Breeze.
Shut up.
I don't think they would risk doing that again. I mean, especially with Zack Ryder. I mean, they gave him his moment, and they took it away from him right away.
Yeah.
Screw it, Sasha Banks.
Well, basically, I mean, one thing we have to think about is that if you look at the track record of Money in the Bank, basically almost anybody who has won has been world champion, right? So you have to look at anybody on the roster. Who can you see being the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion?
Pop quiz. Who's the one person to win Money in the Bank and to lose his title opportunity?
John Cena.
Oh, man.
No, because the problem what he did the fucking babyface bullshit and said,
I'm going to challenge you on Raw 1000!
I challenge you to a match next week, exactly. That was the dumbest shit, his babyface bullshit I fucking hated. That's the one man to do it and fail, because he just had to be like, no.
Don't forget about Damien Sandow.
Oh, yeah, Damien
Sandow. He's released. He's no longer part of WWE.
But he was a Money in the Bank briefcase winner, and he did challenge and lose.
It's true.
Put the big slow there.
I mean, I can see them putting maybe like a big guy in there somewhere. Like Baron Corbin is definitely a large possibility. They could throw him in there maybe. But I don't know what to do with Dolph Ziggler's thing because like Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin had a promo where it's like, okay, we're gonna have a technical match next week or something like that, which I didn't understand that.
Oh my God, no, not again!
I don't know what that was. No, there was something like Dolph Ziggler saying, "Oh, you can't beat me in a technical match." What the? What? Who cares? You lost. Move on from this feud. But
He's got to get the win back.
No, he doesn't. It's over.
He's got to get the win back.
It's over. It's over.
And see, that's what I said before about Dolph Ziggler. He's a phenomenal athlete, but they're booking him all wrong. They're doing the same thing over and over again. Let's keep doing Baron Corbin. And it's just like shoving Roman Reigns down your throat. Now you're shoving the same matches down your throat, and it's kind of leaving a bad taste in your mouth.
You don't love Roman Reigns?
Who loves Roman Reigns?
Me.
I mean, he's a great athlete.
No lie. Our old co-host Chris. You can ask Kyle. Loved Roman Reigns.
I even said this before. I'll say it again. I do like Reigns as a guy. I don't like what he's doing now. I don't like what the movie has done to him. I don't like him as a
guy. I don't like him
as a guy. What they have done to him is awful. He's good though. I like him as a wrestler, as a performer, that kind of thing. I like him as that. But what WWE has done to him has killed him.
His comments killed him for me. He's made a few comments saying that he's in this for the money and the kids. He could care less about what other people have to say. So it's like, all right, asshole, fuck you. I buy the tickets too.
I just want confirmation if he's going to be a heel or a face. I really just want the confirmation.
He's kind of flirting with the idea while remaining babyface.
It's like, oh, you want me to be a heel? You may be a heel? Too bad. No, not yet. Not yet.
Nope, he's pretty much just babyface heel kind of thing.
By the way, Bubba Ray Dudley tweeted out last night saying that basically we're a bunch of trolls to the people that said you still suck last night. New Jersey crowd, once again.
That's fucked up. I will attack him. God damn it.
Good job last night. You got in the head of Bubba Ray Dudley. So let's speak. Awesome. Speaking of a return, Enzo Amore returns. We didn't see him in action, but we saw him in his amazing hairdo.
Yeah, dude.
Return from his concussion. It's great to see him back and healthy. Mm-hmm. Where will Enzo and Cass go from here?
Feud with the Dudleys. It's happening. It's 100% happening. It's got to be happening, right? They've been doing this for too long. It's been Cass beating down the Dudleys. I mean, Cass doing it again tonight. I would assume the feud keeps going. I mean, maybe they want to throw one of like Enzo or Cass in Money in the Bank. Only if they want to do that instead of the Dudley feud. That's possible, maybe.
Andrew?
I'm going to say that they're going to probably end up feuding with the Dudleys for maybe 1 or 2 pay-per-views, and then they're going to move on to some championship gold. Probably when we already see New Day get knocked off by whoever they're challenging next.
So we're about to see the same feud we've already seen when they first started with the Dudley Boys.
Well, that feud didn't really go anywhere.
It was like 1 or 2 weeks, and that was it.
Yeah, they didn't really do much with it. They didn't really get to go with the feud, pay-per-view, that kind of thing. It really just started and then kind of ended at the tag team tournament pretty much.
Well, before we can keep going, I was about to.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna say they didn't really get to go with it as much as they could, and they might do that now. If they don't do that, which would make no sense because they're still pretty much going with it now, I would say maybe Enzo or Cass will be in Money in the Bank. That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. So before we do go on to the final parts of our show, be sure, if you're enjoying what you're listening to, hit that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe. That way you never miss another show. Obviously, on Mondays, we go live with a Monday Night Raw review. Thursday's next big thing. We cover NXT, Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor. Friday is actually not Fridays. This will be getting changed. We'll have an announcement soon. In-Game will be returning. And Saturday is Keeping It Real with Blake and Kyle. Have some big news to talk about. One of them being Adam Rose being released. A lot of big stuff coming in. A lot of big news from this past week. We're also going to touch on the whole Cody Rhodes being released. So let's hit it. Last thing we're going to talk about for the night. We're going to talk about 2 things. Obviously, the first one being the club breaking up. Kyle, I know you have a lot to say about this. So, go.
Yeah, I do understand them going with that, where the club basically is done. They want to separate their ways, kind of thing. But the promo was just it was so bad. It looked like they were reading off of a script. None of them wanted to do it. None of them really felt what they were saying. It was really bad to see. I hate it. I mean, I'm fine with the club breaking up 100%. They go their separate ways. Anderson and Gallows can have a feud with AJ. That's 100% fine. But the way they went about it, that promo I couldn't get over it. It was a train wreck. It was, like I said, the best thing I could say is that they were honestly reading off of a script right in front of us. That's exactly what it was. And I was like, oh my god, just let it end already. This was just bad. Just leave, just go. Oh,
Another
man.
example of how the WWE is burying AJ Styles. You are sending everything you wanted to do with him and throwing it out the window. You have him lose tonight against Kevin Owens. And now you have the club turning against him, which looks like it's going to be a 2-on-1 situation. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. Is this where we see Finn Balor coming up?
No.
Okay. Simple answer. Do you have reason behind that?
No, I'm waiting for the reason.
There you go.
I know. I was just seeing how funny it could get or awkward. No, basically my reasonings behind it is because you're wanting to put him with the quote-unquote Balor Club. You're going to want Anderson and Gallows behind Finn Balor. You're not going to want Finn Balor with AJ Styles. That would make no sense, in my opinion. And you might, you're going to want him as a face or in the middle, but I wouldn't say have him go with AJ Styles. That wouldn't help AJ Styles at all, and AJ Styles needs a lot of help. So,
well, with that in mind, what do you do with what you saw today? Because it looks as if there's going to be something going on between the two of them, or the three of them.
Definitely.
So what do you do? Who is AJ Styles going to have to help him? Because it's not going to be a 2-on-1 situation for very long. And if Finn Balor isn't going to be called up to help his former friend, who's going to step up to the plate and, as you say, help AJ Styles?
If you want my honest opinion, I'm going to have to sit back and let the story take place. Because I don't know. I can't sit down and think of a logical explanation of who will come in. I don't think Finn Balor coming up is a logical explanation, if you want the truth. At this point, all I can say is let's just sit back and see what's going to happen. Let's see if we will see... if we'll see someone like, you could say Apollo Crews come out and help him, or whoever. You could say, I don't know. I really don't. This is one of the questions I've thought about, and I don't have an answer. I'm going to have to sit back and just let the story take place.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing we do. There's a possibility. It's not going to happen, but what if we saw, like, Finn Balor get moved up, and he sided with AJ to go against Anderson and Gallows for a little while, and then eventually, maybe like a pay-per-view, if they have a tag match, it would be Balor turning on AJ and forming the club again. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking like ways they could go with this because I don't know how they could do it. It's a weird. I definitely want to see the feud between them three, but I don't know how they could really do it well. That's the problem with this.
Who would you think, Andrew, other than Finn Balor?
There's a few people you could put in there. Apollo Crews, I wouldn't exactly say is going to be the guy because of his apparent feud with Sheamus coming up, from what we've seen tonight. Somebody who I would like to see team up with AJ Styles. Of course, I'll throw the wild curveball, and everybody will disagree with me on this. Dolph Ziggler.
I literally, as soon as you said curveball, I knew it. I knew it.
But in all seriousness, who else could side with AJ Styles? And that's the thing, though, because he's going to need that backup for Anderson and Gallows, because those two are monsters.
Yeah.
So maybe we see somebody called up from NXT that we're not expecting. Maybe we see another face coming. It definitely is not going to be John Cena. I don't see Randy Orton coming to his aid when he comes back. There's just so many possibilities, but there's so many people you don't see in that picture as well. It's really hard to tell who else they would put in that position other than Finn Balor or the curveball Dolph Ziggler.
Or that. A guy that would make sense, which can't happen anytime soon, which would make sense going back to Japan, would be Shinsuke Nakamura, because him and AJ and even Gallows and Anderson all have history together, and if they want to end up bringing that in, because they could even say, because they'd like to mention here how Gallows, Anderson, and AJ know each other from Japan, have history from Japan, obviously that kind of thing. If it was possible, they could bring up Shinsuke to help out AJ, and it'd be like, oh, okay, well, Shinsuke has history with Gallows, Anderson, and Styles, too, so it makes sense to do that. But he can't really be moved up anytime soon. He's not really at that point yet to be moved up to the main roster. He is, wrestling-wise, but not in, reality, where he's really, paid his dues at NXT, pretty much.
Right.
So it's a weird situation.
I don't see either of them being his partner if that does happen.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. I mean, we're gonna see the feud, obviously, but I don't know how they're gonna do it. I mean, we might see, maybe we won't. Maybe it'll be Gallows and Anderson doing their own thing, AJ doing their own thing, and they just wait a little bit. I don't know. It's a weird situation. Like, what's next for these guys? I don't know.
But why pick your moment and do that now if you're
Yeah,
not planning
exactly.
a feud? It sort of was, like you said before. It seemed like it was awkward. It seemed like they were reading from a script. So why was the point of you doing that? What was that point? Why let us see that if you don't have an effective plan to back it up?
If they wanted to start a feud, they would have had Gallows and Anderson come in and interfere and having AJ Styles lose that match like that.
Well, no, maybe they'll wait a little bit for like another match from the interference.
Well, the only thing you could do, there's nothing for AJ Styles to wrestle for right now. The IC belt's being defended Thursday. United States belt's gonna get defended by Rusev next week on Memorial Day. So what do you do?
I mean, other than a complete and utter burial of AJ Styles' career, what else do you do?
AJ Styles, I mean, I really thought, and I've said this from the get-go, if they book him right, he'll be awesome. But as of right now, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I'm really starting not to care about AJ Styles anymore.
Well, yeah, because I mean, he's been really great so far, but the problem with this championship feud is that he lost at Payback, then they kept building the feud, then he lost at Extreme Rules, and now the night later he lost again. So he's been on this losing streak, and it's like
He's
now
He's on a 3 pay-per-view losing streak.
yeah, 3 pay-per-view losing streak, which is really it's really bad. It's not good
He's
stuff.
1-3 in pay-per-views.
Yeah, and it's his career is literally just started. Like his career just started. He's already 1-3 in pay-per-views, and
I don't know what in that contract it says, but by the looks of it, it's saying you got to get your ass whooped for a while, then you can do something cool.
Yeah, just I don't know what I mean. The most I see what them doing now is just put him up for like a mid card title, like put him against the Miz for the IC title, throw him in the US title. That's all I can see him doing right now. He's got to like kind of do that, get back into the groove of things, so like start winning some matches.
Keep him away from that US title.
Well, yeah, especially I mean, it depends on what John Cena is doing though. If he's not going for it, then they can put him up against the US title.
Cena's going for that US title because
We'll see. There's
no way he's not. How would you have him come back and not go for that US title when you already have Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns?
Well, that depends. Rollins against Roman Reigns depends how long it's going to go. I mean, okay, Cena's most likely going to go for the US title now, but it depends how long Reigns and Rollins goes for.
That could go on for a very, very long time.
If they do it right, yeah. So if they do it right, we stay like that, then Cena will go for the US title, then back for that. And,
Okay,
yeah.
right now, don't play the selfish card. Who wins between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank?
I don't know. It's on one hand, it's that Rollins like I wanted like if on paper it's that Rollins is fighting for the title. He never lost, so he could walk in to Money in the Bank. He could walk in there, win the title, and then run back like keep running his reign, or he could lose against Reigns, and then I don't know. I mean, the feud's got to keep going. So if he lost to Reigns, how would you keep it going? It depends on the ending of the match, if it was dirty or not. But I would assume if Reigns wins, it'll be clean, right? I would assume.
If Seth Rollins beats Roman Reigns, I think the best thing they could do is have him beat him clean, and then Rollins come in and say, "Told you, you can't beat me. This is my title." If they have him lose dirty, it becomes that. Wow, really? But if Reigns wins, it has to be clean. It has to because he's Superman. You can't have him lose dirty.
But then how do you keep the feud going though? If Reigns wins clean,
If Reigns wins clean,
yeah, how do you keep the feud going? That's the problem.
It could be something as stupid as a spear, and he rolls outside and gets accidentally counted out, or a double count out. Something that leads to the fans wanting more and being able to reboot that match.
Have it end here, and then wait for the Royal Rumble.
That's a ways away.
If you're wanting to go WrestleMania-wise.
That's a ways.
It's a ways away, but if we're wanting to have this be the main event for WrestleMania, have Reigns win the title or Reigns lose the title. I would go more on the Reigns win the title and then have Rollins come back at the Royal Rumble. You can have the feud with Triple H go to Survivor Series, which it really has turned into not a big pay-per-view anymore. Then turn around, do something at TLC. Someone calls him stupid and he wants now he's mad. and then turn around at the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble. He's the number one contender, and then WrestleMania, the main event, is that.
That's a possibility.
Or this would be amazing. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Which we saw before.
WrestleMania 33.
Oh wait, we saw a Fatal 4 with those three guys and somebody else, which I can't remember who. There was some pay-per-view with that. It was I think it was Brock Lesnar, Ambrose, Reigns, and Rollins. Yeah, there you go. That was a match. That was the last time we saw those three guys like against each other in the ring. Which we could definitely see. That would be great to see it again. I don't know if it's possible. It would have to be the stars would have to align pretty hard for that to happen.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, Money in the Bank. I don't know what'll happen. It's a toss-up honestly of who can win the who the world title.
At this point, we don't have any stories to really judge off of. As of right now, the only things we have is the the WWE Championship, and we have a few of the Money in the Bank contenders or contestants. Yeah. So we have to this is why this has been, I wouldn't say this is a dull show, but this is why it's been kind of, we really haven't been able to talk about stories, because there really isn't any stories right now. There isn't, other than, Rick is no longer at ringside, which I think is brilliant, finally, but it's like, well, fuck, now we have to deal with Dana Brooke. AJ Styles broke up. This has been a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
It's a breakup. AJ Styles in the club, gone. And now we see what happens Monday.
Mm-hmm, exactly, or even SmackDown. Maybe something will happen on SmackDown, like the finishing of the last two matches. Who will be in the Money in the Bank too? So SmackDown's definitely a show to watch. Of what'll happen there.
So let's get into this, Kyle. Your final thoughts on Raw, scale of 1 to 10.
Scale of 1 to 10, I would give it.
And why?
I'll give it a 7. I thought it was a really good show. Overall, you had Rollins come back. That promo, you had great matches between, like, the Money in the Bank qualifying matches were all great matches. You saw Enzo return, which was great. You saw a lot of good things tonight. It was a really good show, and I was really happy for it. Especially like an after pay-per-view show. We've normally seen like pretty dull ones, but tonight I was happy. It exceeded my expectations, so I was definitely happy with it.
Andrew, scale of 1 to 10, why?
7. I'll go with 7, and I'm going to say definitely the promos was what brought out the excitement for today. Obviously, the two promos that really stuck with us the most. Number 1 was the Charlotte and Flair, Ric Flair promo, which really gnawed at everyone's heart, and the Seth Rollins promo, which we all knew was going to come, but was it going to be that spectacular? And he really showed that he really wasn't missing a beat, and he was away for so long. And then you got the matches that were put on. Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles, Cesaro versus The Miz. Both were, I would say, 4 to 5 star matches. They really did put on a good show tonight.
Okay, so I'm going to give it also a 7, and I'm going to give you my numbers. 5 points because Seth Rollins returned in this promo. 1 for the Charlotte promo, which the reason why it's not higher is because, well, it kind of dragged on. And the 7 is because Sheamus looked really, really good when he beat down Apollo Crews. So why am I not giving it a 10? So here's my 3 points I'm going to take away. The breakup between the club. It's 1. 2 being the fact that Apollo Crews lost. And the third one is the whole New Day thing. I didn't like it. And Social Outcast doing their thing. I don't know why the Social Outcast is there. Adam Rose isn't a part of it. They need to break up.
Maybe they're our next contenders. Maybe that's what the WWE has to offer right now for the tag team division. I mean, it's not really the best idea, but you got 3-on-3, and that's the first time in a long time you've seen something like that.
So, well, I mean, not a lot to say anymore, other than we all gave it a 7. So this is going to do it for us. I'm Blake for the Realest Podcast. I went blonde there. I'm Blake Carter, joined by Kyle Lepore, and Andrew, thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully we can do this some more. It was very
Absolutely.
fun.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So until next time, be sure to check us out Thursday. Once again, hit that like button if you enjoyed what you heard. Also, subscribe. That way you never miss a show. Monday nights, obviously, the Monday Night Review. We go live every Monday. Thursdays is the next big thing. In-game will be one day this week, or is coming up. Again, an announcement will come out. And then Saturdays is Keeping It Real with Blake and Kyle. And then, obviously, when a WWE has a live event or pay-per-view, we will be live for a prediction show and results show. So, until next time, peace out.